Can it mark every day? Can it mark every day? Where will I find it? Where will I find it? What is the weather forecast for today? What is the weather forecast for today? He has been playing the piano since childhood. He has been playing the piano since childhood. I'll call you tomorrow, he said. I'll call you tomorrow, he said. Shall we be the postman at noon? Shall we be the postman at noon? Time interval. Time interval. We listen to music. We listen to music. Will it burn? Will it burn? I cooked dinner for my family. I cooked dinner for my family. 5 days ago he was not afraid. 5 days ago he was not afraid. I'm in the room with dinner. I'm in the room with dinner. I don't notice anything special about the relationship. I don't notice anything special about the relationship. Where are you going? Where are you going? Which is your favorite aquarium? Which is your favorite aquarium? Don't you wash dishes every year? Don't you wash dishes every year? I will also work. I will also work. Can he be happy? Can he be happy? They played tennis in the afternoon. They played tennis in the afternoon. Italian cuisine was served in the restaurant. Italian cuisine was served in the restaurant. He can swim, his sister can swim too. He can swim, his sister can swim too. Was his half-sister a guard? Was his half-sister a guard? They have a guide. They have a guide. They should not be placed later. They should not be placed later. They had to get to the party on time. They had to get to the party on time. The Nile River is the longest river in the world. The Nile River is the longest river in the world. It cannot burn. It cannot burn. What are you going to eat? What are you going to eat? I couldn't leave at dusk. I couldn't leave at dusk. The fish in the river were swimming against the current. The fish in the river were swimming against the current. They'll be watching TV when we get home. They'll be watching TV when we get home. In the evening the rain stopped. In the evening the rain stopped. Can happen every day. Can happen every day. I don't play video games. I don't play video games. We used to win every month. We used to win every month. The book I read last month was great. The book I read last month was great. I'm meeting my friends for dinner tomorrow night. I'm meeting my friends for dinner tomorrow night. Can we lie now? Can we lie now? Could you tell us about the university's support services for international students? Could you tell us about the university's support services for international students? He hated going to school. He hated going to school. It brought back our milk from 3 weeks ago. It brought back our milk from 3 weeks ago. Shall we go try on some sleeping bags? Shall we go try on some sleeping bags? They laughed at themselves in the video. They laughed at themselves in the video. I am determined to be proficient in English. I am determined to be proficient in English. We're going to the movies tonight. We're going to the movies tonight. They should have bought the tickets online. They should have bought the tickets online. The company will launch a new product next week. The company will launch a new product next week. He couldn't find the keys to his house. He couldn't find the keys to his house. Can't we pass in 2 hours? Can't we pass in 2 hours? If I had more free time, I would learn to cook. If I had more free time, I would learn to cook. He took action to improve his health. He took action to improve his health. You didn't ride. You didn't ride. We do not add weekly. We do not add weekly. If I were a superhero, I would save the world. If I were a superhero, I would save the world. A stand mixer is ideal for cooking. A stand mixer is ideal for cooking. My friend told me, I'm thinking of getting a pet. My friend told me, I'm thinking of getting a pet. Was your half-brother an inspector? Was your half-brother an inspector? What does this mean? What does this mean? We used to swim in the lake when we were kids. We used to swim in the lake when we were kids. I am a teacher and I want to help my students learn. I am a teacher and I want to help my students learn. She danced in ballet. She danced in ballet. Which is your favorite book? Which is your favorite book? If you don't wear a coat, you'll catch a cold. If you don't wear a coat, you'll catch a cold. This is the house where I was born. This is the house where I was born. Weren't they invited? Weren't they invited? The streets were flooded after the storm. The streets were flooded after the storm. I have to go home. I have to go home. I can't touch my nose with my elbow. I can't touch my nose with my elbow. I believe that kindness is more important than intelligence. I believe that kindness is more important than intelligence. I guess he is 40 years old. I guess he is 40 years old. Is our spouse a locksmith? Is our spouse a locksmith? I'll meet John in front of the library at 4 o'clock. I'll meet John in front of the library at 4 o'clock. Does it burn every day? Does it burn every day? He didn't pass the exam, did he? He didn't pass the exam, did he? They haven't finished their homework, have they? They haven't finished their homework, have they? He writes poetry in his spare time. He writes poetry in his spare time. I want to go on vacation this summer. I want to go on vacation this summer. We saw a beautiful bird in the garden. We saw a beautiful bird in the garden. That's why I decided to go to a cooking class. That's why I decided to go to a cooking class. What do you think about them? What do you think about them? Struggle. Struggle. Should it be extended? Should it be extended? Relevant regional. Relevant regional. I eat an apple after my father sleeps. I eat an apple after my father sleeps. If you want to pass, you'd better study for the exam. If you want to pass, you'd better study for the exam. Will you please be quiet? Will you please be quiet? They weren't a month ago. They weren't a month ago. What kind of computer games do you like? What kind of computer games do you like? He's been running every morning for a month. He's been running every morning for a month. Please give me time, let me see. Please give me time, let me see. Should he threaten 2 weeks? Should he threaten 2 weeks? Did not receive. Did not receive. The restaurant opens at 1800. The restaurant opens at 1800. The store opens at 9 a.m. every day. The store opens at 9 a.m. every day. What time does the train leave? They asked. What time does the train leave? They asked. How many bottles do you have? How many bottles do you have? He teaches math to high school students. He teaches math to high school students. I have to excuse the socks. I have to excuse the socks. Were our parents interns? Were our parents interns? Can't they be lumberjacks in the afternoon? Can't they be lumberjacks in the afternoon? We should always strive for excellence, even if it is challenging. We should always strive for excellence, even if it is challenging. Can grow. Can grow. I'll bring you a tray of food in a few minutes. I'll bring you a tray of food in a few minutes. Isn't he a Tyler at 3 o'clock at midnight? Isn't he a Tyler at 3 o'clock at midnight? May not buy after a year. May not buy after a year. Airport shuttle fee is $10 per person. Airport shuttle fee is $10 per person. Where can I find snack bars? Where can I find snack bars? We watch the sunset every evening. We watch the sunset every evening. Informative. Informative. Bought a new laptop to work more efficiently. Bought a new laptop to work more efficiently. Were your parents florists? Were your parents florists? The aim of the project was to increase customer satisfaction. The aim of the project was to increase customer satisfaction. Children are playing in the park. Children are playing in the park. We had the broken lock repaired at the locksmith. We had the broken lock repaired at the locksmith. We have to wait until the traffic clears up. We have to wait until the traffic clears up. Is that how you always answer the phone? Is that how you always answer the phone? They must pay the parking fee before leaving the garage. They must pay the parking fee before leaving the garage. Is his grandson a mediator? Is his grandson a mediator? The use of force is not allowed. The use of force is not allowed. I helped my mother while cooking. I helped my mother while cooking. I am going to hospital. I am going to hospital. He will play tennis tomorrow. He will play tennis tomorrow. Won't you be late for work? Won't you be late for work? Yes, our hotel has Wi-Fi. Yes, our hotel has Wi-Fi. I'm looking for a room with a river view. I'm looking for a room with a river view. We must choose 10 years. We must choose 10 years. A professional is someone who gets paid to do a job. A professional is someone who gets paid to do a job. They organized a surprise birthday party for their friends. They organized a surprise birthday party for their friends. Can't we order? Can't we order? He came to the meeting first. He came to the meeting first. We await your response. We await your response. You are a student, aren't you? You are a student, aren't you? Why do you want to travel? Why do you want to travel? He has been playing the violin for years. He has been playing the violin for years. Although challenging, I enjoy solving complex problems. Although challenging, I enjoy solving complex problems. Much more crowded. Much more crowded. Ready. Ready. I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this. Move forward. Move forward. Worst. Worst. How are you today? How are you today? I've never seen you eat a hamburger. I've never seen you eat a hamburger. He has already started his new course. He has already started his new course. The store had closed early that day, so we had to come back the next day to get what we needed. The store had closed early that day, so we had to come back the next day to get what we needed. Was his family a forester? Was his family a forester? Can we finish this project by the end of the week? Can we finish this project by the end of the week? Bilingual. Bilingual. Should I be an anthropologist in the afternoon? Should I be an anthropologist in the afternoon? I will be late tonight. I will be late tonight. We'll finish the rest of the work today. We'll finish the rest of the work today. The children build a sand castle. The children build a sand castle. Will it encourage? Will it encourage? Today's review. Today's review. They help themselves to a snack. They help themselves to a snack. He listened to music while working. He listened to music while working. He has a passion for traveling and exploring new cultures. He has a passion for traveling and exploring new cultures. He will then study for his exam in the library. He will then study for his exam in the library. Do you have gluten-free products? Do you have gluten-free products? One, I must have a baby. One, I must have a baby. We will have dinner at a fancy restaurant. We will have dinner at a fancy restaurant. He has traveled to more than 20 countries. He has traveled to more than 20 countries. I don't play video games. I don't play video games. We are not referees every year. We are not referees every year. I know. I know. I don't think media coverage is necessarily the most accurate depiction of reality. I don't think media coverage is necessarily the most accurate depiction of reality. The movie starts in 10 minutes. The movie starts in 10 minutes. Shall we hold on as the sun rises? Shall we hold on as the sun rises? Do we behave? Do we behave? Let's do this. Let's do this. Can it settle in? Can it settle in? You go to the river to fish. You go to the river to fish. I shouldn't look sooner. I shouldn't look sooner. The research was deemed insufficient to draw conclusions. The research was deemed insufficient to draw conclusions. Weren't we behaving? Weren't we behaving? They visited Paris during their vacation. They visited Paris during their vacation. Don't make a decision after 3 weeks. Don't make a decision after 3 weeks. His uncle was a teacher. His uncle was a teacher. He should have finished his homework by now. He should have finished his homework by now. Can you reach this address? Can you reach this address? He is a funny person. He is a funny person. I'm in the room with the window. I'm in the room with the window. Each student should bring their own pen. Each student should bring their own pen. Your aunt was the driver. Your aunt was the driver. You shouldn't throw garbage on the ground. You shouldn't throw garbage on the ground. Is there anything you want to ask? Is there anything you want to ask? Their stepmother is a golfer. Their stepmother is a golfer. Was her mother-in-law an assistant lawyer? Was her mother-in-law an assistant lawyer? There are 2 pens on the table. There are 2 pens on the table. He better apologize for his behavior. He better apologize for his behavior. We saw them at the concert. We saw them at the concert. Our ABC meeting continues. We may be late for the retro meeting. Our ABC meeting continues. We may be late for the retro meeting. He'll be away for a few days. He'll be away for a few days. We have lunch around 12 o'clock. We have lunch around 12 o'clock. They are going to throw a birthday party for their friends. They are going to throw a birthday party for their friends. He recognizes his old friend. He recognizes his old friend. She is a singer and has a beautiful voice. She is a singer and has a beautiful voice. I didn't answer the night before. I didn't answer the night before. He was to become mayor in the afternoon. He was to become mayor in the afternoon. It wouldn't be any better. It wouldn't be any better. I'm a student. I'm a student.